This is our classy bit. This is our artistic bit. And we're very lucky to be joined by Joint Artistic Director, Vicky Gaskin. Hello, Vicky.
Hello, how are you?
Do you know what? I'm pretty good. And I'm particularly good because I'm reading about what you guys are up to. And I am hugely impressed. Tell us about the Open Bar Theatre.
So we perform in Fuller's Pub Gardens throughout the summer. We're taking 2 Shakespeare tours out this summer. We were able to tour last summer. And in a world where the arts really need some help, it's really great to be able to do what we do best.
Now, to me, the idea of a nice big open, you know, you've got to watch it outside. You've got to be outside because we're not ready to move inside yet. We need social distancing. The thing to do is to take it outside. To me, the first thing that comes to mind, and I mean this truly, is Shakespeare, because that's how the guy started.
Absolutely. And people who would have seen Shakespeare in Shakespeare's time would have maybe had a drink in their hand and, you know, been there with their friends, been outdoors, you know, put a coat on if it was raining. So it's very much, you know, doing it as Shakespeare. We like to think Shakespeare would like the way we're doing it, not taking it too seriously and doing it so that it can be understood as well, you know?
Yeah, you see, what people have to do, they have to realise that when you talk about Shakespeare, we're not talking about, you know, any specific play particularly or the style of Shakespeare. But in those times, the times of Shakespeare and Marlowe and Hull and these people, they were basically wandering minstrels. They didn't perform, they had the Globe, but that was, whoa, he's got his own theatre. Who's he thinking? But usually they were called, the Earl of Shiring would say, my daughter's getting married, so we're going to come in. Everyone's going to get so drunk that they can't stand up. And there's going to be more food you can shake a stick at. And then we want some players to perform something for us. And it better be lively, it better be funny, and it better hold our attention. That's
how Shakespeare definitely should be, as far as we're concerned, yeah.
As sacred as they become, they are very much built with the idea, with the thought in mind that not everyone here is going to be sober.
Absolutely. And the humour is, like, what's the reason why Shakespeare's lasted so long is, you know, he played to the different types of humour and stuff. And so there'll be some highbrow humour, but there'll be a willy gag or a poo gag or something in there as well, yeah.
Of course there will. When you see great Shakespeare performed, I mean, the problem with Shakespeare is there's too much of it that's done by people who don't really understand it. And it's fine, but when you see great Shakespeare, you see it done. When you see Falstaff do properly, you think, this guy's a comic. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And he is delivering some of these lines to specific people in the audience. This isn't a big thing. Oh, the whole thing, I'm talking to you. He's talking to one or two of the people in the audience, the drunks.
Absolutely. And we did Merry Wives of Windsor 2 years ago, and Falstaff went down very well in a pub garden. Lots of bring me more beer jokes as well, which works very well when everyone's drinking.
Of course, I remember reading a brilliant thing by Anthony Sher, actually, and was saying that sometimes when you're doing Shakespeare, you have to imagine people are walking across your vision. Because
yes.
I said, and it was a wonderful piece, and he said, it's when I started to imagine that some of the lines made sense that hadn't before.
And that not everyone's listening all of the time.
Yeah.
So you've sort of got to bring them back round, which we do for a modern audience with our MD, our musical director, David, creates these songs. So if you're sitting there a bit pissed up thinking, what the bloody hell's going on? We'll sing you a song, catch you up, and you can continue with your meal and not be left behind.
Exactly. That's why there are certain scenes in Shakespeare where if you're paying attention, you think, well, I didn't need to be told that again.
Yes.
Yeah, but a lot of people did because they weren't. You're right. So tell us about the nuts and bolts of it. Firstly, huge kudos to Fuller's, who have they're not just putting their name to this, are they? They're playing a big part in it.
Yeah, they're funding it. So they act as our executive producers. They buy the show off us, and then yeah, they take all of the risk on ticket sales and food sales and drink sales. So, you know, we're very grateful that as a sort of a small theatre company that we particularly at the moment are able to, you know, we've got a rig in design at the moment. We're employing 2 teams of actors, creatives, our musical director, costume designer, set designer, all of that kind of stuff. And freelancers, as we all know, have been hit bad over the last year. So it's really lovely to be able to not have to take that risk on ourselves and be able to just create it and make the shows fun and not be sort of worrying about, oh, what if they don't sell? But luckily, they are selling really well. And in the opening weekend of ticket sales, we sold 600 tickets. So if you want to come, book fast.
That is fantastic news. But I'm going to repeat it again, though, about Fuller's, because I've spent a lot of my time at places, either on stage or, you know, waiting to go on. And you look and you see the names of the sponsors up front, you know, and you see these things. And sometimes you think, yeah, you've bought an awful lot there for your 200 quid or paying for the champagne reception before. You've got an awful lot out of it for that. And it is and I would say this to people when you go to concerts and you go to festivals, don't think just because someone's got their name up there that they've done anything other than paid for that tent or something, because it's a very, I've always found it sometimes a very unequal thing. But having read up on this, now Fuller's are taking all the risk here.
They are, and you know, the hospitality industry's been hit as well. It's not like they've got money going spare at the moment. This is an investment for them, and it's something that they're doing for their punters and for the arts. So it's really lovely.
So tell us what you're doing. You're doing Love's Labour's Lost. Yep.
And As You Like It.
Right, well, that's good, because they're not the 2 biggest plays, are they? Well, a lot of people will know As You Like It, but Love's Labour's Lost. Tell us about that.
So
it's a weird play, actually, isn't it?
It is. So the reason we've chosen those 2 is obviously, you know, this is quite a long-standing partnership. So we try to get through the comedies rather than sort of keep bringing up the same ones. But we're calling this summer the Summer of Love. So what Love's Labour's Lost and As You Like It have in common is there's a lot of fun, a lot of comedy and a lot of love, because we all just want to escape what's going on and just sort of be able to sit there and let it wash over us. So the concept of Love's Labour's Lost is there are 4 men who decide that they are going to lock themselves away for a year, topical, and just study for a year. So they're not going to, you know, see women or anything like that. And so they all sign an oath to say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to lock ourselves away, concentrate on our studies. No sooner have they done that, but the Princess of France has announced she's coming with her 3 best friends, and they're going to be camping outside of where these men are all holed up. And that's where the comedy comes from. It is
a very, very clever play, and very funny if it's done properly, which I'm sure you will be. But I think it's a brave thing to do, because most people won't have seen it. So I think it's great that you're doing it and you're giving people the chance. And also, thinking about it, it's a perfect pub garden play. Yeah. Because, you know, they're on the outside there. Yeah, okay.
Also, Love's Labour's Lost is our what we call our compact tour. So there are only 4 actors in it. Mm-hmm. So there's 4 actors playing 4 couples, and the hook is, how is that going to happen?
So tell me about that. Tell me about the logistics of it, because I'm guessing that there are a lot of different sizes to Fuller's pub gardens. Yeah. Are you going to be bigger at some and smaller at others, or what? Yeah,
so As You Like It will be going to the bigger pub garden. So the scale is bigger on things like the set, but the energy of the performers is the same wherever we go. So As You Like It, we call it our classic tour. Everyone's in Elizabethan clothing. We have sort of quite a big set that's 2 stories high. And then our compact tour, which tours to the smaller pub gardens, is sort of, a cast of 4 playing all of the characters. And they're so fun because you can see the actors changing character. Like last year we had an actor playing two characters talking to each other. So he would sit on one side of the stage, run round, put on a different jacket and sort of go to the other side of the stage. Another year, we've had a jacket being puppeteered by someone and someone else puppeteering tap shoes and having this big sort of dance number. And Nikki, who's my business partner, who's also the director, is already going, oh my God, wouldn't that be really amazing? Wouldn't that be really fun? The sort of things you never, ever thought you would see in Shakespeare in front of your eyes and going, oh my God. And yeah, belly laughing your way through your pint.
Now, the setup is going to be, hopefully, I mean, obviously you've got to have a formal, you know, seated area. You can't have people sitting around on their benches but hopefully there will be some sort of, I don't know, there'll be, you don't want people moving about too much, but will there be some kind of looseness to it?
There is. I mean, we're because, you know, our bag is theatre in unconventional spaces. We're very good at rolling with the punches. Obviously, we don't know what life's going to look like in June, but we're hoping that it obviously will be able to be a bit nearer each other. But before COVID, you know, the actors would be in the audience and, you know, exactly like you were saying with full staff, rather than like declaiming everything out, you might sort of like sit down next to a punter and be like, so what do you think? And then sometimes wait for an answer. So we're hoping that we'll be back in a position where, you know, the audience is stationary, we hope. But the actors are a bit more sort of free to sort of wander and be near everyone and keep it all very informal.
So I think it's going to be great. What have you got a date list? We haven't got a date list yet. Have you got one?
Yeah, so tickets are on sale. You can go to fullers.co.uk/Shakespeare for all of the dates. But the Love's Labour's Lost goes up on the 13th of June. That's a lie. It's the 13th of July. And As You Like It goes up on the 26th of July. But we're sort of all over the south, up in Oxfordshire, and then sort of down to the south coast. So yeah, if anyone wants to come, you can go and look them up there, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
Vicky Gaskin, it's a brilliant thing. And once again,
thank you.
I don't have a dog in this fight, but once again, well done, Fullers, for sponsoring something properly. In fact, I would say
properly, exactly.
Do you know what? Rather than sponsors, I think they're being patrons of this, which I think is a much more noble thing to be. So thank you to Vicky Gaskin and also Nikki Diss, who I'm not frightened to name check, even though you didn't seem to want to. So well done, both of you, and everyone, get yourself to a Fuller's and enjoy some Shakespeare. Thank you so much.